Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to share with you one of my absolute favorite computer system hacks or Linux hacks. It saves me a ton of time, and it is something that I think everybody would find useful if they could get their computer to do it. Essentially, this hack slash shortcut lets you open a bunch of different programs and windows and then open all of those programs and windows all at once using one keystroke, and then all of those windows and programs will open in a very specific size and position that you want them to open in. Okay, so um, that is useful for so many things. I think is like a really good way to put it. So let's say if you edit video or you design websites or you whatever your work is. I'm assuming that you open or use the same set of programs for most of your work, right? So if you edit video, you probably have your normal video editing program, a web browser, whatever. All of those different programs that you use for a specific workflow. Imagine being able to open them all at once in one keystroke and then have all of those windows be in the exact position you want them to be every time they open. Okay? So imagine how time saving that is. So basically, I've set that up for my computer, and I wanted to walk you through how I set it up for my computer, and hopefully you can apply it to your system as well. So the first step to this is going to be writing a script. A script is going to basically be the set of instructions that you're feeding your computer to say, these are the programs and web windows that I want you to open. Right? So we're going to start with my text editor. Kate is my text editor, but you can use any text editor. And let's open a script I already made so that we don't have to start from scratch. So essentially, you're going to create a script. You're going to name it whatever you want, but the file has to end in .sh. Very, 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 very important. Name the file whatever you want. Just make sure it ends in .sh. .sh is going to tell the computer, this is a script. This is not a text file. This is a script, which means it's a script that the computer can execute as opposed to just read and modify. Okay, so we start the script with the header right here, hashtag exclamation point /bin/fish. Most people use a bash shell, so it would say bin/bash. I use fish shell, so mine is fish. If you use Garuda Linux, fish is probably going to be your shell. Either way, it works. It works with either shell. But basically, the first part of the script is going to be, these are the programs that I want you to open. So you start that with command and then the name of the program. So for me, I'm going to do command FileZilla, and then you do the ampersand to add like open FileZilla and open console and open Spotify, etc. So let's say I wanted to open Spotify because I want to listen to music while I do my Bimbo Tech workflow. So we need FileZilla, Spotify, console, and then we want to open Firefox. Firefox, the browser, is going to be really important in this workflow. This isn't going to work as well with any other browser, so I highly recommend, or actually you kind of have to use Firefox for this. So download Firefox and then add to your script Firefox, which is basically telling the computer open Firefox, and then feed it the link that you want it to open. So that, and then add the ampersand, and we're just going to give it the list of all the website windows you need to open with your workflow. So let's say I also want to open Gmail. I could add Gmail, and so on and so forth. I don't want to add Gmail though. So let's say this is everything I want my script to open. So we're going to save as, and again, we want to save that with a .sh file ending, and also very important, you need to save it to your desktop. It can either be in a folder on your desktop, but it has to be on your desktop. It can be in a folder, but it has to be on your desktop. This is so key, okay? Do not forget this part. It has to be on your desktop. So we've saved it to our desktop. Now, this is the set of instructions, right? Now we have to say, we're going to tie this set of instructions we just created to a set of keys on our computer. So it's basically saying every time I push XYZ keys, it's going to open or run this script. So in order to do that, we're going to go into the shortcut settings. Shortcuts. And in shortcuts, we're going to add new command. Actually, we're going to so add new command or script. We're going to choose the script that we just created. It's going to be on our desktop, under scripts, Bimbo Tech. Add that. And then we're going to add right here the custom keys that we want to tie to this. They can be any keys you want, but for me, I'm going to choose Meta Alt Control B as my shortcut keys. Meta Control Alt B. So every time I hit Meta Control Alt B, my computer is going to execute this script right here. Now we're going to apply that. And let's see if it opens. Basically, if I hit Meta Control Alt B at this point, it should open that list of programs and websites that we just created a script for. So Meta Control Alt B, boom, there it goes. Open Spotify, open FileZilla, open Console, open my cloud, Bimbo Tech. Okay, great. So it opens all these windows, and that's great. So in one keystroke, I just opened all the programs and windows I need for workflow. But these windows are everywhere. So let's say we want all these windows to open in a specific size and specific position. So we're going to do that. So the first thing you want to do is set up your window exactly how you want it to be. Okay? So for my Linode window, for example, so I want this desktop to go up here. Another really handy feature of my Garuda Linux is the grid tiling. I can auto tile in one key too. That's a really, anyway. But basically, let's set up the window or the display exactly how you want it to set up. So every time I open it, I want it to open in this position, size, etc. So I want FileZilla. Console to open here. And let's say I want to open Spotify in my other display. I can put it in my other display. And then let's say I want to open linode.com in my other display as well. Okay. So let's say this is how I want my windows to look. Every time I open that script or that set of programs, this is what I want my windows to look like, right? So in order to capture these settings, we're going to go into System Settings, right here. We're going to go into System Settings, and we're going to go into Window Rules, Window Management. So System Settings, Window Management, Window Rules. And we're going to add some new rules. So basically, we're going to add the window bimbotech.cloud right here. So we're saying to the program, we want, every time this window opens, we want it to open in this position and in this size. And in order to do that, we're going to give it a description name, which you can describe it as anything you want, but I'm going to call it exactly what it is, bimbotech.cloud. And then we're going to click, this is really crucial, detect window properties. We're going to click detect window properties, and then we're going to click the window whose properties you want to detect. So boom, right there. So once we click that window, it's going to bring this up. And this is going to be all of the properties of the window that you want the computer to scan for to identify that window. So we're going to click Firefox Plus, whole window class plus, window types, all window types, window role browser, window title, and then we're going to add position, and we're going to add size. And I also like to take out the title bar and the frame. So we're going to do no title bar and frame. Yes. Now close out of that. Now we have all of these settings right here that we need to fiddle with. So bimbotech.cloud, exact match for Navigator Firefox, match, window type, we can do normal window. Yeah, we don't need to touch that. This is important. Window role, exact match. Window title, exact match. Position, we're going to do apply initially, and size, apply initially. That means it's initially going to open all of these windows at this size and that position. And then after that, if you want to change it, you can. And for no title bar, we're going to do force. Apply. Now, we're going to add the next window. And that's going to be bimbotech.com. Detect window properties, and then the window, add Firefox, add that, add that, add that. The size, and no title bar and frame. If you wanted any of your windows to always stay on top or above the other windows or below the other windows, you can also set that here as well. You can keep it above other windows. You can keep it below other windows. So basically every property about this window you can set on here to, adjust, modify, whatever. So bimbotech.com, exact match, normal window, exact match, exact match. We want to apply initially, no title bar, we want to force, apply that. Next, for our FileZilla down here, detect window properties, FileZilla, position, size, no title bar and frame, exact match, apply initially, and then force for that, apply. And then let's finally add one for console. Detect window properties, console, position, size, no title bar and frame, window title, exact match, position, apply initially, and force. Okay, cool. So essentially now we've created window rules for these 4 windows, right? For bimbotech.cloud, bimbotech.com, FileZilla, and console have all have window rules now that say it's going to open in this size and in this position, right? So we apply those, close out. Now we're going to close all of these programs, and then we're going to run our short key and see if it worked. So right now I'm going to click Meta Control Alt B, which is the custom shortcut we created, and it should open all of those programs and windows in the positions that we specified. So No, it's, we're gonna have to adjust these. Okay, so for these, we're gonna do force temporarily. So for size and position, let's try force temporarily because the other setting is too soft. Okay, force temporarily, apply. Okay, let's try this again. There it goes. Now it's gonna open the windows in the exact positions that we wanted, right? So we wanted Bimbotech here, we wanted bimbotech.com here, we wanted the cloud here, we wanted console here, and we wanted FileZilla here. So yeah, super powerful. We can also go back and edit the script, right? So let's say, you know what, I don't want it to open cloud.linode.com anymore. And I don't want it to open console anymore. Or no, I don't want it to open console anymore. I don't want it to open Spotify anymore. Let's say I just want it to open FileZilla. So we're going to save that and watch. Boom. Now it didn't open any of those other programs. Wait, does force temporarily? Okay, so it's going to be force. Okay. Go back. It's going to be force. Try that again. So let's run our shortcut. Okay. Speed run this. Let's edit our script. Let's add Spotify to the mix. Save that. Okay, we're gonna put Spotify here. So we've arranged the window exactly how we want it. Once you've done that, you're going to open your system settings. You're going to go into window management, window rules. We're going to delete all these for now. We're going to apply that, and then we're going to add new. So for window rules, essentially you're going to label your windows, the windows that you want to create rules for. Detect window properties, and then click the window you want to basically capture the position and size of. After that, you're going to add the features or properties that you need to identify the window by. We're going to do window class Firefox, navigator Firefox, window types, all window types, window role browser, window title, very important. Then you're going to do position, size. I also like no title bar and frame because it creates a much cleaner look. Now back to the settings for the rule we just created. Exact match, normal window is fine. Window role, exact match. Window title, exact match. And then really important, force, and then force. Apply that. Now we're going to create another rule for bimbotech.com. Detect window rules. Add that. Okay. Now, here's a little customized scenario. We want to add exact match for that, exact match, normal window. Window role is going to be exact match, but for window title, right? So anytime a, a window has this in the title, it's going to identify this window to apply the rule to. So usually we put exact match, right? And it would be that exact thing. But we could also use substring match. Substring match means any window that matches anything in here. So let's say any window that is titled Bimbo Tech, that is also a Navigator, Firefox, etc. But yeah. Anyway, we're going to add the exact name. We're going to do exact match. Force, apply. And then we're going to also do one for Spotify. Detect window properties. Click Spotify. All window type Spotify. Premiums. Position, size, no title bar and frame. Exact match. Force, apply. And then lastly, we'll do FileZilla. Detect window properties. Click FileZilla. Add FileZilla. Force, exact match, apply. Okay, so all of those window rules should be applied to all of the windows here, which means now when we open with our shortcut, it should open all those windows in the exact same position. So let's go. Bam! Here we go. So yeah, that's it. So just as an example, if you are interested in being able to open a bunch of your windows or programs in one shot, in one keystroke, and have them all open in a specific size and position, such as this, you can follow this tutorial. All right. Hope this helped. Hope it gave you some ideas or at least like a basic framework of what you would have to do to make your computer, have this automated workflow of opening programs in Windows.